Hello everyone, welcome back. So now we are going to do pet sample t-test. Okay, so let's look at your book. So your book, we are going to look at page 20, pet sample t-test. So let's look at the practice activity. We are still using the same SPSS file as we did previously in the single sample t-test. But now we have different data to analyze. Okay, let's have a look at your book, page 20. Okay, so we are concerned about the finding that the marketing department did significantly better on the yearly assessment. So we want to decide and to compare the yearly assessment marks to their marks on their major assessment task to see whether there is a significant difference. So let's imagine this company, they will continuously evaluate their staff. So they will have two sets of assessment marks. So maybe mid term and also the final yearly marks. Okay. So I don't know why I did that. So let's again go back. Sorry, right? So now we have a different set of marks here, okay, and we need to enter that in the SPSS file. Okay, so let's look at our slide. So this will be the hypothesis that we are going to test. So just now we test hypothesis 1, so this will be hypothesis 2. The marketing department performed better in their task compared to their yearly assessment. So we want to predict that the task marks, these marks are better than their yearly assessment mark. So let's have a look whether this is true or not. So we have now the marks is already here, but we are going to add another mark. So let's say this is marks 2. Okay. Oh, sorry. We cannot have space, yeah? So marks 2, forgot about that. So we couldn't have space in the name. So in the data view, let's key in the marks that we have. So please look at your book on the marks that you have. Okay, we are done. So now we are comparing marks and marks 2. So we are hypothesizing that marks 2 are better than marks 1. So the steps will be, let's look at your book again. Right, so you can, by yourself, you can try and do the descriptive analysis, kurtosis, and so on. Okay, but we're going to go straight away to the PET sample t-test. Why is it doing that again? So let's go back. All right, so we are going to do this step here. All right, so click analyze, yeah, compare means and PET sample t-test. So we are now having two values. So marks 1 will go to variable 1 and marks 2 to variable 2. All right. So we just click OK then. All right. So now let's look at the result. All right. And you can also compare this with what you have in your book. So it's similar. So in your book, it's here. I don't know why that happens. It always goes back to the other page. So this one is in your book. Okay, so it's similar. So now what we're gonna see here. So first one, the first table, it compares the mean. So for marks 1, the mean is 81.9. 82.9, and marks 2 will be 82.8. So from here straight away we can see that there is a difference, yeah, between these two, but the difference is not quite that big, right? So the standard deviation is also quite similar because it just the points are different here. So let's look at the n. We have n 10n, but we are not going to look at the significant value here because we are going to look at the significant value in the pet sample test table. So if you can see here, this is the t value, this is the degree of freedom value, and this is the significant value. So here is 0.235. If we can go back to the slide of p-value, a hypothesis is considered significant or accepted when the p-value is less than 0.05. So in this case, the significant value is 0.235, which is more than 0.05. This means that your hypothesis is not accepted. Okay, although there is a difference, but it is not really big of a difference. Okay, so that is why it is considered like that. Okay, so for the independent, for the paired sample t-test, how do we report it? How do we report the findings? Okay, so this is how you write the finding. So let's minimize this again and let's compare. Yeah, so this is how an example of how you can write it. You can also use your own words, and you can use other forms of reporting, but you can also use this as a template or as an example. So in order to determine if the marketing department did better on their yearly assessment, so for the yearly assessment is M81.5, which is here, and standard deviation 7.05 here. Then their task. So for the task, the M or the mean is 82.8 and the standard deviation is 7.66 here. Scores for each assessment piece were compared using a paired sample t-test. So the results showed that there was no significant difference in performance on these two assessment pieces. And let's look at the t-value. Okay, so T is 1.274 and P equals to 0.235. So one when when the p-value is not significant, this is where you report the exact value. So this suggests the performance of staff on each assessment was equivalent. So it's quite similar. The difference is not even one. Okay, so this is how you report, how you conduct pet sample t-test, and how you report the results. Okay, so I'll end here and let's meet up in our next video. Bye bye.